All right, so we learned how to divide decimals by whole numbers last week, and today we are going to start dividing decimals by decimals. So we will have decimals in the dividend and decimals in the divisor. So the first thing we're going to do here is look at this example number 1. We're on page 455. We might be able to get through 2 lessons today. Obviously, I'm gone, so if you need time to work on your own, then just don't go on to the next lesson. But if you run out of time, if you do have more time, then we can go on. So Casey is 4.5 feet tall. Her brother Jerome is 6 7/75 feet tall. How many times taller is Jerome than Casey? So we're going to see how many times 4.5 can fit into 6 3/4. So then let's divide those. So when we do that, what we need to do, we cannot have any decimals in our divisor. So what you need to do then is move it one place to the right. And in doing so, instead of 4.5, it now becomes 45. And you're going to move that decimal however many places you have to make this a whole number. So instead of having a decimal in my divisor, if I move it one place to the right, now I have 45. If I do that, though, I need to move the decimal the same amount of places in my dividend. So instead of 6 7/75, I would move it one place, and now I would have 67 5/10. And then we would divide like we did with our whole number on the outside. So again, we raise a decimal to the roof, and then we just divide. So how many times can 45 go into 67? It can only go in once. 1 times 45 is 45. We will subtract 7 minus 5 is 2. 6 minus 4 is 2. So now I have 225. Right? And then I ask myself, how many times can 45 go into 225? And if I don't know that, I can use estimation skills. This is close to 50. And I know 50 can go into 100 twice. And it can go into 200 4 times. Otherwise, I can make a multiples chart where I just, on the side, I would list the multiples of 45. So 45 times 3, or if I just add them. So this is 5. 4 plus 9 is 13. 5 plus 5 is 10. Carry the 1. That would be 8 with the 1. And if we add 45 again, 5 plus 0 is 5. 4 plus 18 is 22. And that's the number I'm looking for. So how many times was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see there my estimation would have been a little bit off, but the multiples chart helped me. And then 5 times 45 is 225. And I subtract and I'm done. So Jerome is 1.5 times taller than Casey. And again, we can always check our work by taking our quotient. And if we multiply our quotient by our divisor and we get our dividend, we get it correctly. So let's see. I have 1.5 times 4.5. Now remember, here we don't necessarily need to line up our digits. We just need to keep track of how many digits are behind the decimal. So I see here I have a 5 and I have a 5 behind the decimal. And then I'll just multiply. So that is 25. That would be 7. I don't know why they did that. 5 times 4 is 20, and then that would be 6. So I do indeed end up with 6 7/75. Okay. Page 456. Find 0 6/100 divided by 1.5. So again, when we set it up, I see that I have a decimal. What I was telling the 6th graders and what I usually tell kids when they're learning this is I cannot have any decimals. It's like bringing your uncool friend to a party. That 5 or that decimal is not, it's not like a person that can get into a party. So, this 1.5 really wants to get into the party because, it's so lit inside the party. So what we have to do is make this a whole number so that it's cool enough to get inside the party. So we're going to move this one place to the right, and then we have 15. Again, if we do anything outside the door, Whatever we do outside the door, we need to do inside the door. So we're going to move that one place to the right, and now we have 6/10. And here they've set that up already. Again, if the decimal's in the house, raise it to the roof. 15 cannot go into 0. 15 cannot go into 6. So then what do I do? Because that 0 wasn't there. I'm going to add that 0. Well, 15 can go into 60 4 times. Again, if you didn't know that, you can make a multiples chart on the side and just add them all up. 4 times 15 is 60. So when I subtract, I get 0. And then again, we can check here, 4/100 times 1.5 equals 6/100. So I did that correctly. All right, guided practice. We have 6 and 89/100 divided by 1 3/10. We're going to move this one place to the right to make it 13. We'll move this one place to the right to make it 68.9. We raise that decimal to the roof. 13 cannot go into 6, but 13 can go into 68. Again, it could help to make a multiples chart. And then 3 plus 9 is 12. That would be 52. 3 plus 2 is 5. 1 plus 5 is 6. And I don't think it's going to go in any further. So I know that 13 can go into 68 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 5 times 13 is 65. When I subtract, I get 3. I'll bring down this 9, and now I have 39. How many times can 13 go into 39? Well, it goes in 3 times. 3 times 13 is 39. Subtract, and I get 0. So 6 and 89/100 divided by 1 3/10 is 5 3/10. All right, let's turn the page. Independent practice on 457. I'm going to set up the first one just so I can show you what it looks like. Again, 66/100 divided by 3/10. I cannot have a decimal in my divisor, so I will move that one place to the right to make it 3. If I do that, I need to move this one place to the right to make it 6 6/10 now, and then I raise my decimal to the roof. 3 cannot go into 0, but 3 can go into 6 twice. 2 times 3 is 6. Subtract, I get 0. I'll bring down this 6, and I know that 3 can go into 6 twice again, and 2 times 3 is 6. So what I want you to do right now is you're going to go through, and because I'm not here today, you're going to finish this entire page. So you're going to do 3 through 13 by yourself. So you're going to pause the video and then unpause it. I will do all the problems too. What I need to see though is that I need to see your work. If you get one wrong, you need to change it. So I'd like you to do this first by yourself and then unpause the video. You can watch me do it and check your answers. So go ahead right now and pause it. Okay, by now you should have finished all of these on page 457. I'm going to go through them right now and you are checking your work. So 16.5 is our dividend divided by 0.03. This time I have to move it over twice. 1, 2 to make it 3. So I need to move this over twice, which means I need to put a 0 there. 3 cannot go into 1, but it can go into 16 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. 16 minus 15 is 1. Bring down the 5, and now I have 15. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Subtract, and I get 0. I still need to bring this other 0 down here, though, so I'm not done. 3 cannot go into 0, so I'm going to put a 0 there. 0 times 3 is 0. Subtract, and I'm done. So 16.5 divided by 0.03 is 550. This is kind of a big number, and this is a super, super, super tiny number. So it makes sense that it can go into 16.5 that many times, even though that seems a little wonky. Okay, 462 thousandths divided by 2/10. I need to move decimal over once, so I'll move the decimal over once here. I'll raise it to the roof. 2 cannot go into 0, but 2 can go into 4 twice. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract, I get 0. I'll bring down the 6, and 2 can go into 6 3 times. Notice that I put the 3 after the decimal. 3 can, times 2 is 6. Subtract, I get 0. I'll bring down this 2, and now 2 can go into 2 once. Hold on, someone's calling me. Sorry about that. And then 1 times 2 is 2, so when I subtract, I get 0 and I'm done. So 2 31/100ths. Okay. I would have to move my decimal over twice here to make it 12, so that means I need to move it over twice here. So if I put it here, that would be once. I need to move it over twice, which means I need to put a 0 there. Then I'll raise it to the roof. 12 can go into 18 once. 1 times 12 is 12. Subtract, I get 6. Bring down the other 6, and I have 66. 12 can go into 66 5 times. 5 times 12 is 60. Subtract, and I get 6. Bring down this 0. 12 can go into 60 5 times. And I'm writing that to the right of the new decimal place because I already brought down this 0. 5 times 12 is 60. And I'm done. So 15.5. Ooh, 007, my favorite math number. Okay, move it over once to get 14. Move it over once here to get 7/10, and raise it to the roof. 14 cannot go into 0. 14 can't even go into 7. So what I need to do here is add another 0 to make it 70. Now I'm going to think to myself, I know 15 can go into 60 4 times. Off on the side here, you can either make a multiples chart or you can estimate. So I know 15 can go into 60 4 times. I'm going to try 4. I have a feeling, though, that it's going to be 5. So that's 16, and then that would be 56. Can I add another 14? I can, and I get 70. So that's going to be a total of 5 times. 5 times 14 is 70. Subtract, and I'm done. So my answer is 0.05. I know that's kind of hard to read. All right, and then we have 7. So I'll move this over twice to make it 4. So I need to move this over twice for 382.2. Raise it to the roof right away. 4 can go into 3 0 times. 4 can go into 36, which is the closest I can get without going over, 9 times. 9 times 4 is 36. When I subtract, I get 2. I'll bring down this other 2. That can go in 5 times, so now I have 95. 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract, and I get 2, and I will bring down this other 2. 4 can go into 22 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20, and I get 2. I don't have anything else left to bring down, but I can add another 0 and bring that down because I know that 4 can go into 20 an even amount of times. 5 times 4 is 20, so when I subtract, I am done. 95.55, so 95 and 55/100ths. For the sake of video time, because it takes a while to upload then, because my videos are so long, I'm going to turn on the answers. If you have a question on how they got that answer, circle it. Maybe you can ask someone around you if you got a different answer, how they got theirs. Otherwise, circle it and I can go over it tomorrow. But here are the answers. So for 8, we have 36. Number 9, we have 4.5. 10, we have 565 and 2/10. 11, we have 5/100ths. 12, we have 44, and 13, we have 2 3/10. If you got one wrong, maybe ask someone around you how they got it, if they got it right. If no one around you can figure it out, circle it, and either maybe Mrs. Epler can help you, or maybe I can help you tomorrow. Okay. So on to problem solving. I would like you to try a couple of these. Try 14 and 15 by yourself, and then pick one brain builder. So this is like your homework, what you need to turn in. So do 14 and 15, one brain builder, and then I'd like you to do all of my homework. Okay, and then when you're done, you can do Prodigy. but please turn it in, and remember, circle anything that you had questions on for me to go over tomorrow. So again, all of my homework, that includes the backside, 459, 500, 1 brain builder, and then 14 and 15 on page 458.